The Gambia is among the top 10 countries at risk for sea level rise and ecosystem degradation, perpetuating floods, drought, storms, and saltwater intrusion, which continues to threaten lives, infrastructure, food security, and tourism revenue. It is a trend that needs urgent intervention, drawing stakeholders in more deliberations to find solutions for the country's sustainability. This roundtable drew government agencies, development partners, the private sector, and civil society, who are meeting to review and endorse a strategic document, setting plans to tackle the country's ecological challenges.
The Climate Prosperity Investment and Strategy, Financing Strategy, positions the Gambia to access the catalytic capital, crowd in private investment, leverage risk-sharing mechanisms, and tap into biodiversity and carbon finance, all while ensuring that resources remain firmly aligned with our national priorities. Today's workshop is not only about validating a document. It is about endorsing a collective approach. We are grateful for your input so far. These are critical in refining the strategy to ensure that it reflects the ambitions of all Gambians, from farmers and entrepreneurs, ministries, communities, and the private sector at large. We must live here with a framework that is truly ours, one that speaks to the realities of our people and unlocks the full potential of the economy.
This strategy represents a fundamental shift in our national approach. It moves beyond viewing climate action as a cost to positioning it as a central driver for economic prosperity, job creation, and sustainable development. It is our roadmap to building a Gambia that is not only resilient to climate shocks, but one that thrives because of its strategic climate-smart investments. The journey to this draft has been both comprehensive and collaborative, guided by our national frameworks, including our second nationally determined contribution and the long-term climate strategy. We have engaged in extensive technical work and stakeholder consultations.
Discussions here are centered on ensuring broad ownership and provision of actionable pathways to mobilizing finance and partnerships to support Gambia's climate prosperity agenda. The Gambia received an estimated $737 million in climate-related funding over the past decade to mitigate national vulnerabilities and strengthen resilience. Well, the question of how can the Gambia turn climate vulnerabilities into climate action has been echoing for the longest of time. This move by the stakeholders is seen as a critical drive towards addressing such. But the worry for the public is what comes after the validation of such national documents. Is it going to be left to gather dust like the many before? Experts say this is going to be used as a key strategy for the country in trying to address climate challenges.
So I want to close with an assurance that the CVFE20 Secretariat will continue to support the Gambia throughout the entire process, from strategy development to implementation. We will work with you to refine pipelines, mobilize capital, support with the analytical needs to help with decision making, transaction advisory with dedicated partners. And just to close as well, none of this will be easy, but difficult is not the same as impossible. As is often said in the CVFE20, the fate of the world will be, or the fate of the vulnerable will be the fate of the world.
The strategy being validated was championed by the Finance and Environment Ministries and developed by stakeholders with critical understanding of climate-related issues and their impacts on socio-economic development. Well, this strategy is viewed as a flagship national initiative aimed at accelerating the Gambia's transition towards climate resilience and low-carbon development while unlocking new opportunities for sustainable investment. It is also seen to provide a roadmap to leverage climate finance, foster green growth, and attract investment that align with national development priorities and the objectives of the Paris Agreement. From Rabaji, GRTS News at the Sadauda Kairaba International Conference Center at Bijilo.